Welcome to MMO Grinder Backtrack, where I take a look at games I've reviewed previously to check out what's new. Today in May of 2013, I'll be revisiting Elsword, the 2D action platformer beat-em-up that I reviewed in episode 19. First off, there's an aspect of the game I wanted to touch upon that I didn't immediately realize was there when I first reviewed the game, but was brought to my attention when I had posted the video, and that's the knockdown system. The knockdown system is a game mechanic that occurs when an enemy is hit enough times to knock them over, a fairly common occurrence in beat-em-up games. But in this game, the enemy is made slightly stronger to defeat and given an increase to its defense. This is outright baffling and counterintuitive to me. In every other beat-em-up, knocking someone down is a good thing. It gives you reprieve from that enemy's attacks and lets you get in a few more good hits. Making an enemy stronger when knocking them down is illogical on all levels, as martial arts matches count opponent knockdowns as a way to score points. Knocking down your opponent is beneficial in everything but this game. Hell, just throw yourself backwards onto the floor without bracing yourself and tell me how empowered you feel when you do it. MMO Grinder does not encourage this action and advise you don't actually do it. Seriously, it really hurts. With this odd system in the way, I did kinda get discouraged against playing this game, and apparently the community does get pretty adamant about other players knocking down their opponents, despite it being an inevitability that in any other game would be a really good idea. Okay, that addressed, I'll get into a couple things that are new. First off, there's a new playable character available named Chung, a young boy with a bowl haircut, shape-shifting power armor, and a pillar that doubles as a cannon. It makes more sense when you play it. Chung has some odd and interesting systems in play, like the ability and requirement to load shells into his cannon in order to fire shots. This can be accomplished with certain skills, combo chains, or merely standing still. Chung plays like a heavy hitter and a tank, but can level into a more ranged and assault-focused character with his alternate jobs. Speaking of new jobs, each existing character in the game now has a third option to choose when upgrading, like a sword combat focused skill for Reyna called Trapping Ranger, a melee and magic focused fighting style for Aisha called Battle Magician, and a dual-wielded sword style for Elsword called the Sheath Knight. While the second job tiers of the third set have not been implemented in North America yet, they are all set in Korea and they're making their way over here. For those who thought the questing system was a bit all over the place, having you head to several different areas in order to build your character and advance the story, it seems they've taken this quirk to heart, now streamlining the quest so you're not forced to head into different areas that are all over the map. There are two downsides to this, the first being that you'll be stuck in one area of the game for a good while before you can advance. And the second is that if you happen to have quests from all over the map, like, say, if you created a character that had a bunch of different quests from before this system was implemented, you might be stuck with a bunch of quests that you literally cannot complete or turn in because the game has locked you out of that area due to your level. It's a good and bad thing, but it will at least make the leveling experience much less confusing. With a new character in the works, a new system revamp on the way, and new job changes heading over, I'll be sure to check back with this game and others in more episodes of MMO Grinder Backtrack. Oh yeah, that knockdown system is seriously the most counterintuitive thing I've ever heard of. Stamina systems are still annoyingly restrictive, and this amazing song still only plays in one area of the game, and it's the tutorial boss. Some things really should change.